when she pulls away. It can feel like a punch to the gut. One moment, everything seems perfect. The connection is strong, the conversations flow effortlessly, and you can see a future. And then, silence. The texts become shorter. The calls stop. The warmth you once felt is replaced by a sudden, confusing coldness. Your mind starts racing, filled with 1,000 questions. What did I do wrong? Is she seeing someone else? Did I say something to offend her? This experience is one of the most common and frustrating challenges men face in dating and relationships. And what I want you to understand today is that this shift, this emotional withdrawal, is rarely as simple as it seems. In fact, from a psychological perspective, it's often a profound subconscious test. It's not a game she is consciously playing. She is instinctively drawn to a man who represents a stable, centered, and resilient force. It's a deep-seated, instinctual mechanism designed to gauge your emotional strength and your core confidence as a man. Think of it from an evolutionary standpoint. A woman's sense of security is paramount. A man who can lead not just when things are easy, but especially when they are difficult. When she pulls away, she is, on a primal level, creating a moment of pressure. She is creating a vacuum. And what you do in that vacuum, how you react to that pressure, tells her everything she needs to know about your internal world. Does he crumble under uncertainty? Does he become anxious and desperate? Or does he remain grounded, centered in his own value, independent of her validation? This is not about manipulation. It is a natural filtering process. She is testing the foundation of your confidence. She is subconsciously asking, is your sense of self-worth built on your own foundation, or is it dependent on my constant attention and approval? How you answer this silent question determines not only the future of your connection with her, but the level of respect she will ultimately have for you. So, faced with this test, what is the most common reaction? What is the single biggest mistake that countless men make? A mistake that instantly signals weakness and guarantees failure. They chase. The moment they feel her pulling away, a switch flips in their brain. Panic sets in. The fear of loss becomes all-consuming. And so, they begin a campaign of desperation. They double text, then triple text. Hey, just checking in. An hour later, is everything okay? 2 hours later, did I do something wrong? Please just talk to me. They start calling repeatedly, leaving anxious voicemails. They suddenly become overly available, clearing their entire schedule in the hope that she'll grant them a few moments of her time. They might try to buy her affection with gifts or grand gestures, trying to solve an emotional problem with a material solution. They bombard her with compliments, not from a place of genuine admiration, but from a place of fear, hoping to flatter her back into their lives. Every one of these actions screams one thing: desperation. It communicates that your emotional state is entirely dependent on her, that without her attention, your world falls apart. This behavior is the emotional equivalent of a man flailing in the water, grabbing onto the person he's with and pulling them down with him. It's not attractive, it's smothering, and it completely erodes any respect she had for you. A woman cannot feel attraction for a man she does not respect, and she cannot respect a man who loses his composure, his dignity, and his sense of self at the first sign of distance. By chasing, you are validating her decision to pull away. You are confirming the very doubts she may have had. You are showing her that you lack the emotional fortitude to handle uncertainty, that your confidence is a fragile house of cards, and that your happiness is not your own responsibility but a burden you are trying to place on her shoulders. The more you chase, the faster she runs, and the deeper you dig your own grave. This path does not lead to reconnection. It leads to being blocked, ghosted, and ultimately forgotten. So, if chasing is the path to failure, what is the path to success? What do high-value men do when faced with this exact same situation? The answer is as simple as it is profound. They do nothing. At least, not in the way most people would expect. When a high-value man senses a woman pulling away, the very first thing he does is regulate his own emotional state. He does not react. He observes. He understands that her behavior is her own, a reflection of her internal world, and he refuses to make it a referendum on his own worth. He remains calm. He takes a deep breath and steps back, creating space not just for her, but for himself. He understands that the most powerful move is often no move at all. Instead of focusing his energy outward on her, chasing for answers and validation, he turns his energy inward. He redirects that powerful force toward his own life, his own mission, his own purpose. He goes to the gym and has the best workout he's had all month. He dives deeper into his work, his business, his craft, making progress on the goals that define him as a man. He spends time on his hobbies, reads a book that expands his mind, or connects with his circle of brothers, other strong men who support and challenge him. He operates from a position of abundance, not scarcity. His life is already full and meaningful. A woman is a wonderful, beautiful addition to his life, but she is not the source of his happiness or his identity. This is the critical distinction. His self-worth is generated internally through his actions, his discipline, and his commitment to his own growth. It is not a fragile thing that can be given or taken away by someone else. This is the essence of emotional control. It's not about suppressing your feelings. It's about acknowledging them without being controlled by them. He might feel a pang of disappointment or confusion, but he does not allow that feeling to dictate his actions. He chooses discipline over desperation. He chooses self-improvement over chasing. He becomes the calm, unmovable rock in the midst of the storm. And what is the effect of this on her? It's magnetic. She pulled away expecting a reaction of anxiety and neediness, what she has likely experienced from most other men. But instead, she is met with a calm, confident silence. She sees that his world does not stop turning because she is not in it. She sees that he is a man with his own purpose, a man whose frame is so strong that it cannot be shaken by her emotional currents. This creates intrigue. It creates respect. And most importantly, it gives her the space she needs to process her own feelings. Often, a woman pulls away because she is feeling overwhelmed, uncertain, or is dealing with things in her own life. His calm strength gives her the room to breathe, to miss him, and to remember why she was attracted to him in the first place. His lack of reaction becomes the most powerful reaction of all. It communicates more confidence, strength, and value than 1,000 desperate texts ever could. She will feel his absence, and it will be his strength, not his neediness, that draws her back. So, the next time you feel that shift, that pull away, I want you to remember this lesson. See it not as a rejection, but as a test of your character, your confidence, and your emotional fortitude. Do not fall into the trap of chasing. Do not give away your power. Instead, take a breath, step back, and turn your focus inward, back to the one thing you can always control, yourself. Go to the gym, work on your business, read that book. Become so engrossed in building your own empire that her presence or absence does not derail your mission. This is the ultimate expression of masculine strength. It is the quiet confidence of a man who knows his worth, a man who leads himself first. When you embody this energy, you don't need to chase. Your value, your purpose, and your unwavering calm become a gravitational force that pulls respect, attraction, and the right people into your life. Stand firm, stay on your path, and let your strength be the reason she returns.